Tricking is basically a sport that involves like a lot of acrobatic movement. People pretty much bring any sort of movement, like capoeira or breakdancing or whatever, and it kind of melds into this one thing. And there's a really amazing community that's surrounded by it, and we all kind of were brought up in that community, and it's really cool.
Project. It's really hard to like nail it down into like just one thing that it is, like, because it is movements and like a compilation of all of these different types of art forms and, you know, acrobatics and martial arts. But there's also more to it than that. Like, there's another layer that I think most people, that once they really start to get into it and get into the training, they start to like identify more with like that side of it, which is like the feeling that it gives you.
When people refer to like, or athletes refer to being like in the zone, that's their flow state. And, you know, trickers, we seek flow. Like, we're flow junkies. Like, that's all we want, is to get in flow and to trick and like experience that.
Ultimately, it's your brain produces all of the neurochemistry that are found in like most of the illicit drugs that people tend to get hooked on, like, you know, cocaine and Molly and, you know, all of those different things. Your brain, the reason that those drugs work is because your brain has receptors that can accept those. Well, when you're in flow, your body naturally produces those chemicals that fit into those receptors, and that's why you get that like natural high from doing certain things. You're literally getting high. It's not like just it's actually 100 times cleaner and like dissipates out of your system faster than like the illicit equivalent. So it's actually the best, safest, and it's completely natural way to elevate yourself.
And you're doing really cool shit when you're doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're doing cool flips and movements.
And the thing with tricking is it has some certain aspects with the fact that we're going upside down and we're, you know, disorienting ourselves, that helps to catapult that flow faster. Like, you just jump into it, whereas it's a little bit more difficult to get into in some of the other areas. If like you're sitting down to write something, you know, you might have writer's block for a while and it's difficult to just drop into that flow. But something that's really interesting
is like a certain level of danger helps.
Exactly. The thing that's interesting about the flow state and tricking and how they go together is when you find something that can put you into the flow state more and more, the more you've sort of visited that state, the easier it is for your body to naturally go there. So the more that people trick and get into that flow state through tricking, the easier it is going to be for them in their day-to-day lives to just like hop into something and it be a flow state.
Also ties into why there's such a high progression rate for like how the sport is progressing, because it's insane how fast, like, especially some of these new kids coming around, and, you know, even in like our own community, we have kids that have been tricking for 2-3 years, and now they're at the top level, like even in our local community,
like people have been training for like decades.
Yeah, and just because like once you get in it and you get hooked, it's like, and that's what consumes you. The more you do it, like the faster you progress, and you know, it's really, really amazing just like how quickly this sport is growing, and how like stuff that we didn't think possible was like
Yeah.
like a year ago. The stuff that we thought wasn't possible was landed
Literally.
like, last week. Tricking is just like such an amazing thing, and you know, I wouldn't know you, I wouldn't know anybody like that
Pretty much all
are
of
the
my
most
friends
important
right now.
people in my life without tricking.